you loving what you're doing, but then this Happiest Hours opportunity.
This guy comes.
Meet this
Crazy
guy.
idea.
Cutie.
That's, you know,
At the
that,
club
tell
in
me more about that
Hollywood.
cutie. I want to hear more about that.
So I think I was going to graduate maybe 6 months or so before we met from college.
I need a little bit more of that.
I know.
bottle right there,
Let's
too.
pour it up because now we're talking relationships.
Yep.
No, but so we met at a club in Hollywood, and it was called Ledoux. Goodness, if anyone remembers those, I do. Ledoux off of Hollywood Boulevard. It was like the time of where all like the hills.
Pass it down.
You guys remember the TV show The Hills?
Yes.
They would go there. They would film there a lot.
My sister loved that show.
I
so much. It
know.
was ridiculous.
So did I. I think everybody. That was like a cultural movement.
Like pouring on my left. Terrible control here.
So we met there. I don't have to get into the super specifics there, but we hit it off in the club. There wasn't like the cliche like dancing, and we weren't like.
What was Ryan wearing?
Do you remember?
So in my memory, I swear on everything that I love, and this is how you know he was good because I looked past this.
Oh God! Please tell me now.
In my mind, he was wearing this baby blue
Nobody had.
corduroy like suit jacket.
I don't
thing.
even know where you would find that.
He felt nice, huh?
Yeah, it was.
I'm the only one
It was
that does that.
ASMR before ASMR.
Before ASMR. I know.
It was not a
baby
corduroy
blue.
suit.
I would.
It was baby blue for sure.
But
So
just
that's
the
wild in
jacket,
itself.
Wear. It was
Like, I
just
was
like
going
like
to
Dumb and Dumber, baby
UNC
blue
or
suit.
something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
yes, in my mind, that's what I saw. I do think maybe you were in like jeans or something, but it was an interesting fashion choice. I don't remember the shirt that you had
Wasn't a
underneath.
You're always so good. You're always so good with your words.
yeah.
That is so funny. Well,
anyways,
no
I
matter
looked
what you were
past it.
wearing or not,
I
obviously
looked
you
past
did
it.
something right.
She
Got that
found the
mouth
diamond in the rough.
I think one of the most special things about when we met was like we got into like a pretty detailed conversation about who we are within like the first 10 minutes of chatting. Wow. And I'll give you examples. It was like, because we were looking at each other and we're like, like, what are you mixed with? Because, I mean, what are you?
And then she was like, what do you mix
Yeah.
with?
And so we discovered that we're both biracial, black and white. And then I said, yeah. And I don't know why I always volunteer this information, but it's like, yeah, my mom is black and my dad is mixed. And he was like, oh, my mom's black and my dad is white, which is rare in the African American community. It's generally the other way around. Love is love. Success. So,
I can't make remarks when you're talking about
so
Just kidding, people.
that was something right off the bat that we thought was interesting and different that we hadn't heard a lot.
Right.
The other thing was we somehow were talking about like, well, we covered like, well, are your parents together? And ours both were not. And I was like, yeah, they've been divorced since I was 5. He goes like, me too.
Same.
Our parents separated when I was 5. And so we just like hit on a bunch of like commonalities in the club, mind you. Like we're at like in like the patio area, it's loud music, chit-chatting. We're like, oh wow, like we have a lot in common. And then, you know, Ryan was like, well, you know, let's continue this conversation
your
and
digits.
let me get your number. And I fell for it. Best decision I ever made. Though.
Aww.
He texted me the next morning, and it's funny to this day. Like he was like, "Good morning, QT," with like the Q and a T.
Y'all can use that if y'all want.
To this day, he doesn't do it often, but sometimes he'll throw it in, and it just
really?
sends me right back
Our
to
producer
20.
Nate over here is like, hell yeah.
The funny thing is, there's actually a gas station in Arizona.
It's QT.
Yeah, it's QT.
Yeah,
it's
for
QT.
sure. So that
I
is
love
something that has
You
been.
guys- that is very special.
Yeah, there's like
Yeah.
a few things, but so we just, and then from then we've been together married for 9 years this year, together for 17 years.
Right.
Crazy.
Long time.
And
Beautiful. I
and
love
then
that.
so like I think what's very interesting, right? What a lot of people are like, how do you guys work together? Like all this stuff. The transition from you having your career, getting into Happiest Hours, like how did
Talk
that?
about that
Obviously, I can
conversation.
tell.
Yeah, like,
I can tell my version of it, but we want to hear from you.
Well, let's bring it back. Okay, so I graduate from college. You graduate too, and we decided to move from Southern California to the Bay Area together.
That's right.
So we're living together in the Bay, and I feel like for sure in Southern California, you were the guy who made drinks, but never, it was so much more in the Bay Area. Like all of our friends, like he really kicked off the fact that
mixology
he knew how
culture
to
up
make
there was
drinks.
just different.
Yeah. We used to have so much fun bar hopping in San Francisco and experiencing different cocktails and like all this stuff. So we had so much fun like date nights doing that. And so whenever we would host stuff or go places, they knew that he was a bartender, and so he would be the one to make drinks. And so we got a place in downtown San Francisco, and we got like this really cool like wooden curved bar that we got like from a consignment shop that we like had stained and repainted. It was just super unique. It did not have any ice bins. Like the practicality of it, looking back at it
Question:
now.
when you said we stained,
We paid somebody to do it.
oh, okay. I was like, I don't think I've ever seen Ryan stain anything.
Come on now. Work smarter, not harder.
You did it. Yeah, no, I thought Alana
I
did
would
it.
have done it, but that thing was heavy. Remember how
it was
heavy
a
that? It
beast.
was a beast. It was a beastie bar. So I was like, let's go ahead and just pay for this one to get it done. I am the handy one in the relationship, though. That's
Hands
for
down.
sure.
Hands down.
He was trying to pay somebody to move something from upstairs to downstairs the other day.
I have
you
no
threw it on your
shame
back.
in that, like at all.
There's a
Not even
reason
little
why.
bit.
There's a reason why Ryan has no back pain.
Oh gosh.
Well, I
Work
know.
I'm just
smarter.
saying, like,
I mean,
I'm not doing it. Just saying.
there's nothing wrong with that.
So we got this cool bar in our little apartment in San Francisco. And we were like, we should name it. So we were driving around the city listening to The
Oh,
Weeknd.
this is a great story.
And we're vibing out and chatting, and we're like, God, like, what are we gonna name this? And like Ryan, I remember being like committed to getting something made, like a plaque, like get an acrylic sign. I'm like, why
On
are
the
we gonna
bar.
spend like
Yeah.
$500 for a bar sign? Like, I don't know, just go get a printed I don't know. I didn't think it was that serious, but he was like, this is our bar. Like he felt really
Yeah,
passionate about the
yeah.
idea. So he found
Because at this point, were you already thinking about doing
not
bar
at all.
stuff? No, you were
Not
just
at
wanting
all.
to
this
name
is
your bar.
just like
Okay.
naming our in-house
Yeah.
bar. Like
Got it.
because you have some LED signs in yours, so just
Yeah.
kind of like having fun with your house
Yes.
bar.
Yeah. Okay.
So we're driving around, and he was like, yeah, like, you know, thinking about cocktails, like, where do you get, like, the best cocktails? I was like, oh, you get them at happy hours, right? Like, oh, like, happy hours are so good. And, yeah, he's like, well, what's the best happy hour you've ever been to? He's like, what's, like, the happiest hour you've ever been to? And I go, like, what if, like, what's better than a happy hour? It's, like, the happiest. Where do you go from the happiest hour? And then I was like, well, happy hours are about people and community and connecting and like coming together. I was like, drop the second H. Hours. It's possessive. It's about people. It's your time, taking control of that. And so at the time, it was the happiest hours. And then we had some branding help at the time and dropped the to happiest hours.
And then
Yeah.
it was born.
And then it was born.
And
Yeah,
I-
the name was
name
born.
was-
Yeah,
The
the name was born.
born.
And I think to add to that, it was also like, okay, we're at like the happiest hour. I'm like, that sounds, we got to be different
For
somehow,
sure.
some
Yeah.
way, right? And so it's always good because it's like with Alana, if you like, you ask, she'll get like triggered to like think outside the box sometimes. And if you just like ask her, like, hey, we got to change this up somehow,
Yeah.
like, and then she'll start looking at things in different angles. And that's when
Yeah.
you're like, you know, the OURS, the hours, which is
and that
like,
was
pretty
it.
cool.
At that point, it was it. So we named our home bar.